Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the Hard Nine podcast. Today is May the 10th. The Cardinals sit at, oh goodness, I don't even care. They've lost two, or they've lost eight of
15
their
and
last 10.
22.
Yeah, and they've lost five in a row. So I don't even know where to start. And they're also going to play now the next 6 to 8 weeks, probably without their best player. So that's where we sit.
Yeah, definitely without their best player. And they're saying it's now closer to 10 weeks. Here's my honest reaction. One, I'm absolutely gutted for Wilson Contreras. That sucks. First off, that looked incredibly painful. I don't think I've ever seen a player react that way on a baseball field in my life. Because I mean, literally just got his arm broken by a baseball bat. That's a horrible feeling, I imagine. And he was on his way to an All-Star game. He was honestly on his way to MVP votes if he was going to continue catching and hitting the way he was. Like he was probably going to be a top 10 MVP guy for the first time in his career. It just sucks for him. So I feel for him. Outside the Wilson Contreras aspect of it, that I mean, JD Martinez just took a sledgehammer to the Cardinals season that was already on life support. Like that's what he
Yeah,
did. And like I don't it's obviously not over. Like it's not over technically. They could win the next 3 games and then they're only 4 games under or what are they? They're 7 games under 500. Yeah, it's over. I don't even know what to say. They're done. Like here's
here's what
now if they lose the next 3 games, they will have the same record through 40 games that they had last year.
I've been saying all along that I'm going to wait till June 1st, or at least the week after Memorial Day to hold on to really, because as where we sit right now, 7 games out of the division. The Reds have lost 8 in a row, I believe, and they are, like we're only 3.5 out of the wild card. However, it's not the standings, it's not even the record that bothers me. It's the style of baseball that is being played by the Cardinals that gives me zero hope. That like if you remember the Titans, right? When coach is talking to Petey and essentially he's like zero fun, sir. That's how it is to watch the St. Louis Cardinals right now. I told you, I tweeted the other night. I'm watching the NBA and NHL playoffs over Cardinal baseball right now. I watched the recaps in the morning because it's 3 hours of my life or 2.5 hours. I'll never get back because it's so boring. There's no life. They look like they're having zero fun. Like I said, there's no energy. There's nothing. It looks like a team going through the motions, which is what we saw in 2023, which was our biggest fear coming into 2024.
Yeah, I don't like this baseball team. I'm just gonna say it. I don't like it. I want it blown up. Like I they need a different direction. The Arenado Goldschmidt era, it's over. It's over, and part of that's on the Cardinals front office for not capitalizing on it. A lot of it's on Nolan Arenado for not capitalizing on it, in my opinion. Um, and Goldie's just like I think he's towards the end of his career and he's about done. Like that's just where we are right now. They need to move on from those two guys at the deadline if this season continues the way it's going. They could not just say, okay, we're gonna trade Goldie, but we're gonna keep Arenado here for the next 5 years. Like, no, move on. Like it's time. That era was unsuccessful. It's time to move on, I think.
It's weird to me to look at the Goldie stuff because I don't know what to make of that right now. Who was above an 800 OPS. He was again above league average in essentially every category just 8 months ago. So I don't understand how like the decline happens that quickly to a guy who's
Here's,
only a year and a half removed from an MVP. He had a very good year again last year, and then to all of a sudden now that's what tells me that I don't know that they're done. But like I said, the signs are just the terrible approach at the plate. It just feels like it's something else every night. It feels it's Groundhog Day. It's 2023 all over again. Only this time it's about what where we're going to lose it offensively or pitching. Now it's both.
or defense. Like last 2 games, Cardinals win it, or at least in it, I guess. But they win it if Nolan Arenado just does his job. Last 2 games, he's made an error that led to a massive inning. On the one he made, they called it a hit because it was at Busch Stadium. It was an error. To be honest about it, he made 2 errors that inning. He made that led to a 5-run inning, and then yesterday he made an error that led to a 3-run inning, and then both games comes up bases loaded, less than 2 outs. Doesn't come through in either of them. When is it on him? Like I'm tired of hearing about Ollie.
It's
I'm tired of hearing about Turner Ward. Nolan Arenado has to perform at some point. When are we gonna put it on him? This is his 4th year as a Cardinal. Okay, tell me when you hear the outlier here. Okay, 20 OPS plus by year, 119 in 2021, 2022 151, 2023 109, 2024 113. Where's the outlier? The good one or the bad one?
Yeah, right. Exactly.
So when is he going to be a superstar? Just for 1 year? That's what we got? A 1 year superstar?
I mean, it
Like,
does
what you?
sort
I
of.
don't know what to do about this. Like, goalie's falling off. He's old. He's dead. He did his job as a Cardinal. He did it perfectly. Everyone knew towards the back end of that career it was going to be iffy. Like he might fall off a little bit. We all saw that coming. He was great for the majority of it. Nolan Arenado, now this year's obviously not over, but in 2.5 of his 3.5 years here has been incredibly underwhelming. And like I don't know what else to say. It's on him at this point. He's got to perform. He's got to step up and be a star, and he hasn't been. If he comes through in that spot, any of those spots, by the way, any of the ones I just named, for God's sake, just come up through in one of them. They win a game. If he performs like Mookie Betts or Freddie Freeman or these players that we compare him to, the Cardinals are at 500 or above it right now, and he's not doing it. So that's
Yeah.
where we're at.
Yeah, it's painful to watch. It's awful to see. If I were to tell you that as of May the 10th this season, you would have three people who have a 700 or above OPS, and one of them would be Jose Fermin, what would you have said?
Who died? Did they get in a plane crash? That's what I would have said.
Stop.
That's what I would have said. I would have said, what happened? Did they all go out one night and get drunk and get arrested? I don't know. That's what I would have asked.
When we last talked, it was Sunday, I think. Like, right, it was Sunday. Yeah. Anyway, it was Sunday. By the way, thank you guys for listening. Hey, the last podcast, great comments on there. Really appreciate y'all listening. Everybody's obviously got a take right now, and unfortunately they're all how to fix it or how to blow it up, because this is where we are right now. So thank you. If you could hit that follow button. Did find out on Spotify we're up over 100, I think, followers now. Finally got to see that number.
Nice.
So YouTube, if you could also hit that subscribe button, we'd greatly appreciate that. But last Sunday when we talked, you said Turner Ward should not be employed Monday, but you figured that he would be. They're obviously, like, they have not zeroed in that is the problem. I don't know. I don't know
Definitely
anymore.
not
Like these,
helping. Fire him. Why is he still here? Fire him. What are you waiting for? This team is the worst team in baseball at pulling fly balls. It's the worst team in baseball at hitting with runners in scoring position, and it's batting 107 with bases loaded. I don't know if any of that is his fault, but what is he getting paid for? How much? How long do they have to be bad before he loses his job?
they're 29th in baseball in runs scored. They're bottom two in home runs, and they have reached Pittsburgh Pirates, Chicago White Sox level offense. That's who you're lumping them in with right now. That's who they are. That's
Yeah,
who they
the
are. And
Athletics are
I'm
better than
also going
them
to be
by a
honest.
lot.
Everybody told me, and I want them to be great. Please get it. But where's Brendan Donovan and Lars Nootbaar?
Lars
Like,
Nootbaar's been great lately.
he has
He's
a
been great.
640 OPS, Caleb.
Okay, he started off slow, but he's been great. He's hit a homer in the last 2 games. He's crushing the ball. He's been their best hitter by far in the last week. It's not even close. Like at least he's performing. Same with Donnie, actually. Those two have been really good the last 2 games. The problem is the middle of the order is awful. It's like just flat out awful. You cannot have a middle of the order that is this bad. It's just not even conceivable. Like Nolan Arenado is not a middle of the order hitter anymore. Let's just put it out there. He's not. He wasn't last year. He's not this year. He's 2 home runs. Like Paul Goldschmidt isn't even a hitter right now. Like he's not even playing. They benched Paul Goldschmidt for 2 games. They benched him. And then Alex Carlson is batting fourth yesterday, and he tries to bunt for a single with 2 outs. Like I
Right.
don't even understand what is going on with these people. They don't have a middle of the order now that Wilson Contreras is gone. That's the problem, in my opinion. Like they're getting guys on, they're getting opportunities for the 3, 4, 5 hitters with bases loaded and with 2 outs. They're just not coming through ever. Like ever. I've never seen a team, and I know I'm getting a little frustrated here, but I have never seen a team that so often doesn't come through in big spots. Like ever. And I don't know what it is. You can say, well, there's really no difference between runs in scoring position and when the pressure's on and when it's not. Like that's all just, luck and sequencing. I swear to God, I have never seen a team like this. And this has been like 3 years of this, where when the pressure is on and it's a big moment and the middle of your order's up, I can guarantee you they're not getting a hit. Guarantee it. And it happens
It
every time.
definitely feels like that. Last thing I want to say that, and I'm going to be really like, I've had my beef with Miles Michaelis. We know this, okay?
Mhm.
Like, I'm done with him. But I'm going to say this, and I'm not trying to attack any one human because I don't like to do that. But after what happened to Wilson, even if it is fluke accident, whatever, for him to come out and legitimately just shit the bed as a pitcher when you had a lead and you just saw your guy leave for what we know is going to be an extended. I'm tired of seeing Miles Michaelis. Dude has almost a 7 ERA. There is
Right.
nothing competitive about Miles Michaelis. I don't care that he eats lizards. There's nothing competitive about him. And for him to allow that, like, I'm sorry, dude. You're a big leaguer making 20 million. You've made all your farm jokes. That's cool. You're making $20 million a year. Perform like it and get your
Yeah.
team a win. Gut it out for one time. He never guts it out anymore. It's so annoying. And he'll give up 3 early, and it's like, oh, he got through 6. That's great. He's not putting your team ever, like, that's embarrassing for what he did the other day after Wilson got hurt, in my mind.
Yeah, I mean he shouldn't start another game for the Cardinals. I don't care what you're paying him.
I
Get him
agree.
out. What's he here for? To
Yeah.
give up runs? It's the sunk cost fallacy. So would you rather be paying the $20 million and win more games, or be paying the $20 million and lose more games because you're pitching? I don't
Yeah.
understand. That won't happen, but he's not very good anymore. But also, talking about that inning, Nolan Arenado is the reason they lost that game. Once again, he made 2 errors in that inning. 2. He had a tailor-made double play, it went right through him. Like, inning's over, you win, game over. And he fails again.
That's both of them. That's both of them, Caleb.
And I don't want to go too far in this direction, but I am just so unbelievably over the Arenado era of baseball in Cardinal and St. Louis. I am so over it. Like, when is he going to step up? When? In 2020, so he stepped up in 2022 when he had, Albert Pujols and Goldie outshining him. Okay. What about 2021? Nope. 17-game winning streak, if you remember, it was O'Neill and Goldie. It was not Arenado that was doing anything during that stretch. 2023, awful. The entire year talks about veterans. We got your veterans. What are you going to do about it? Nothing. Doing nothing.
Like, one home run after
for some
August
reason,
last year. Is that right? One home
yeah,
run after August or something like
we
that.
can talk about back problems and stuff. Dude, everyone deals with stuff. It's baseball. They're all hurt. Like, I don't even understand. And every time I bring him up on Twitter, it's like people defend him mindlessly, and I don't understand it. Don't give me his career stats. I don't care what he did in Colorado. Couldn't care less. As a Cardinal, the first 3.5 years, he has not done what you brought him in to do at all. And it's like he just hasn't. And that's why this team, part of the reason why this team has gone nowhere and won't go anywhere.
Well, you can also point to his like postseason stats as well here. Like,
he doesn't even have stats for the Cardinals. He has like
right.
1 hit. He
One
barely
hit,
has a batting
I think,
average.
Yeah.
He has a 167 OPS in the postseason with the Cardinals.
Okay,
I don't care. It's 3 games.
Let's talk about the bigger picture here a little bit, as we don't have to go through the Brewers game last night. That was what it is. Honestly, if they don't win 2 of the next 3, they might be cooked. Like, I might have to make a decision before June 1st. Here's what I'm saying. The Cardinals have not won a postseason series. They've won 1 since 2014, right? No longer can we ride on the Tony La Russa coattails in that era. That's long gone now. You are no longer a feared organization in Major League Baseball.
They're no longer a respected organization in Major League
Agreed.
Baseball.
That's fair. But what I like, just because you compete in the worst division in baseball every year, this team has not competed that just in the National League in 10 years. They haven't. Like, they competed. I know they got to an NLCS. That was fluky against the Braves. I get that. That's your only series you won. That's the only one in 10 years. So it's really hard to start. You have to look at, is it time for the Heim Bloom era to start? And if you're going to do that soon, or even if it's at the end of the year, whenever it is, it has to be top to bottom, clean house. We can't have the stale old voices that are. I don't know what Gary LaRocque's doing. I don't know what any of those guys down in the minor leagues are doing. I'm not trying to take shots at them. I'm simply saying, if we're going to do this start over, and you're going to deal guys like Arenado, and you're going to deal Goldschmidt, and you're going to deal whomever else you can get anything for at the trade deadline, if that's where it ends up, then it has to be, in my opinion, we need almost every new voice you can get into this organization, because there needs to be some sort of fresh air.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree. Like, if Heim Bloom takes over, which I think it has to be. Like, no disrespect to Randy Flores or Michael Gersh. This fan base can't handle a Mo project, prodigy taking over after him. It's stale, it's old. Get him out. Like, get them all out. And honestly, I would keep Randy as a scouting director unless he had another opportunity. Then I'd let him go if he wanted to go be a GM somewhere else. And same with Mike Gersh. Like, those two can be around. They just can't be leading the show. It cannot happen. I don't know. It's going that way too. Like we can't sit here and say if anymore. If they trade these guys, if they have to. It's over. I have never seen a team with less fight than this team ever
Yeah.
in my life. They're not coming back from 7 games under 500. They're not. And if they make a fake run in June to get close, and then the front office fools itself into thinking this is a team to buy into, what have you been watching for the last year and a half? Because I have seen
So
nothing to make me believe in these guys.
quite often I ask you to put your different hats on here. All right. I'm gonna have you put your Tim the Toolman Taylor, Mr. Fix It hat on right now. If we're blowing it up, who are you building around? Like who to you on this 40-man, we can even knock it down to 27, 28 guys, right? You got a couple hurt right now. If you want to knock it down to 30, however you want to do it, who are you wanting to build around for the future? And who to you are you saying we got to start over and these guys have to get out of Dodge?
I'm trying to move everybody with a contract besides Sonny and Wilson. I'd keep those two because I think the thing that sucks with if they want to rebuild here, that's difficult. Not rebuild, retool, whatever you want to call it. These guys, Nolan Gorman, Brendan Donovan, they've already been up here for 3 years. They're going to be free agents soon. So if you still want to try and build competitive team with those guys in mind, you have to one either extend them, or two, you have to turn it around quickly. It has to be within the next 2 years. So I'm keeping Sonny and I'm keeping Wilson because I think both of those guys are valuable to just have, and also just like they're good. They've continued to be good. You need someone to lead your rotation, even if it's young, and you need a guy that can. And having a veteran catcher that can hit, very valuable. So I'd keep those two. Goldie and Nolan have to be gone. Like if Goldie's gone, Nolan has to be gone. It just feels that way to me. Like Nolan will not be happy here if Goldie's gone, and I don't really even blame him. Like if you're not trying to win, then trade him. Like why would you not? The thing that sucks with those two specifically is they can decide where they want to go. Like they have both no trade clauses, both of them. So you have to probably get a lesser return for him because like we saw when we got Arenado, he wanted to come here. So they didn't have a lot of options. The Rockies didn't. And then other than that, like you bring up all the young guys, bring Jordan Walker back, bring up Prieto, bring up Sajasi for the rest of the year. See who sticks. See, throw them all in. Say you're playing every day. Let's see what happens.
Can we bring up my boy Luke and Baker while we're at it?
No. I'll play Alec Burleson at first. Is what I would do. But yeah, bring him up,
Luke and
obviously.
Baker. Right.
Yeah, bring him up. Fine. I don't care. Like, just play the young guys then at that point. And this sucks that we're having this conversation on May 10th, but the team is so bad right now. Like, they're just bad. And we're gonna get comments like, you're so negative, fair weather fans.
Right.
First off,
I know.
if you call me a fair weather fan, you don't know literally a singular thing about me and you've never watched. Because I live and die with this team to a fault. Okay? To a fault. I was watching the game yesterday. I don't know why, but I was. I'll watch it tonight too. It just I don't like you have to inspire confidence in your fans, and the fans just are not buying what DeWitt and Mo's selling right now.
No,
They're not going to
they are not.
games. They're not buying it anymore.
No.
You have
You were there.
you have ruined the built up trust that you had.
We had boots on the ground with you, and you texted me and said, "There's no one in the streets having fun, like most Cardinal games there usually are right before the game." There was no one in the
There was no
seats.
traffic.
You moved down to what, the fifth row behind the dugout, and you went from the bleachers to behind the dugout and the ushers were like, "Yeah, please go ahead," because they'd rather see you on TV than out in the bleach. Like that's where it's Caleb. It's May.
On a
This
night
isn't
against a
August. This isn't August when it's 110 degrees out and the Cardinals are losing. It's May.
The stadium was overrun with Mets fans for the first time in my life. The cheers were loud when the Mets were scored. Loud. And when Nootbaar hit a homer in the ninth, not loud.
Two other questions for you. And I'll give them to you both, and then you can take them from there. One, I know you said build around or keep Sonny and Wilson. If I'm Sonny Gray and I'm 34 years old and I came here because I thought the Cardinals were on a upward trajectory and we've gone over the cliff. Again, please understand, I hate doing this because it's May 10th. But it just feels like right now, if you're judging what you're seeing every day, this is all we can do. We're hopeful that all of a sudden somebody gets a fire lit underneath them and we get going. That's what you have to hope for. But to be fair, we haven't seen it. Also, yeah, right. I get that. But if you're Sonny Gray, like I'm wanting to be traded if we're going through a full rebuild and I'm 34 years old. I'd like the chance to pitch in postseason again and also maybe win a championship. That's one. Then two, here's the concern I think for me, but also probably for you and for Cardinals fans. The Cardinals minor league system is ranked 23rd out of 30 teams in baseball right now. So if you do a full rebuild, this team
it wouldn't be a full rebuild.
So you think it's just a retool?
A full rebuild would be tearing down your whole roster. You'd be trading 2 guys.
Okay, so here that's
You're not
my
trading
question
Gorman and Walker and Donovan and Newbar. I
is
want it at least.
let me ask you this then. How do you attract free agents when they've seen what's happened the last 2 years here with
Money.
the
You give them money. That's
we
how.
have an owner who doesn't do that, Caleb.
Why is Chris
So
Bryant in
again,
Colorado?
huh?
Why is Chris Bryant in Colorado? Because you thought they were good? You pay them money and they will come to you.
No
It's
one
so
is arguing
simple.
that. We
Or
don't
trade for them and they have no choice.
no one is arguing that. We don't have an owner who does that.
Well, I think if you got Goldie Arenado's money off the books, he would have to. That's $55 million you're saving. $60 million you're saving.
So what are we going to do? We're going to go out and sign 4 30-year-old pitchers again next year? Like that's what I'm saying. You passed
No,
on
I
Bryce
wouldn't do
Harper,
that.
which was the greatest deal of all time.
Wouldn't yeah. But no, at that point you bring up Tink Henson, all these young guys and you're letting them pitch. That's what I would do. Like I'm letting them pitch. I'm not blocking these guys anymore with mediocre pitchers. Done. I'm done. Done with it.
I don't even know who's free agent next year. I guess I should have looked at that, but I have not even
It's
looked
pretty
at
good.
that
It's a
yet.
pretty good class. Corbin Burns. Pretty good.
What about Sonny Gray? What are your thoughts on Sonny?
I'm keeping him. He signed the contract. Like I don't know what to say. Like, sorry, you're upset. You signed a 3-year contract.
Not that doesn't always help for clubhouse morale if that's how you're going to handle that
Sonny Gray will
business.
be fine. He'll be fine.
All
He
right.
signed a 3-year contract. I'm sorry. What do you want me to do? Like pitch better yesterday.
Hold on. He's had one bad
Don't give
outing.
up 6 runs in 5 innings, maybe against the Brewers.
It just
and the biggest
seems
start
to
of the
me
season.
like show some fire. That's what I'd like to see from one player. Maybe we
It's
just don't have a guy on
everyone,
this team who
too.
does that. I know it's all of them.
Wilson, I was hurt.
Yeah, and now he's hurt. Yeah.
Like it's Wilson and Sonny. I'm building around those two. I would go to both of them. I would say this might suck for a year, but I want you two to be here when we're better
It's
again.
sucking right now.
No, that's what I'd say. I would go to them at the deadline. I'd say, we're trading Goldie, we're trading Arenado. You two are who we're building around. We believe in this young core. We're going to supplement it in the offseason with the money we're saving, and we're going to go for it next year. So just bear with me for a year, for this year. That's what I would do, and I'd build around those two. And I think both of them would be receptive to it. They would be my pillars. I'm done with the other two. I'm done.
Yeah, I know that there's the chatter's obviously getting loud out there, and I also know that we don't necessarily believe it's true. But how long do you think Ollie keeps his job at this point? Like, because please understand, I'm not blaming Ollie for this mess. I'm not. But at some point, the culpability will fall. Like he has to be culpable at some point right now.
Can I give you a? I have a. Actually, I wanted to bring this up earlier, but I forgot. This is an Ollie quote from yesterday, and I want to know your take on it because I think for me it's a player problem, but I could understand how some people say, Ollie, you have to also be culpable and why this isn't happening. Okay, so he was talking about the game. He's getting increasingly frustrated, as you can see.
Yes, he is.
He said at some point you've just got to score. You get punched in the face, punch back. It's the first inning. You've got 8 more chances. You've got to be able to battle back from that. We just haven't been able to do that, not just tonight, just in general. We haven't been able to do that. It comes down to stringing together quality at bats. So basically, he's saying they didn't fight. They didn't fight and try and get back in the game. You can blame it on a manager, right? Because you can sit here and say managers in charge of morale and keeping people. I agree. Okay. I think these players, it's just not a winning formula. Like, that's just what it is. These guys are not winners, dude. They're not. They have a few of them. They have a few guys I would call winning players. But as a whole together, it's just not a winning team. Like, they have the talent. They do. They have the talent offensively to be better than they are. They're just not doing it. And at some point, it's like, we got to shake this up. And for your Ollie question, if he gets fired and John Mozeliak keeps his job, it's a fucking joke.
Agreed.
Joke. Like
I'm glad you said that. I
to
agree.
the point to where I'm not going to any more games until John Mozeliak's gone. If Ollie is fired. And I'm at the point where I would fire John Mozeliak and I would keep Ollie. That's what I would do. Because he believed in him. I believe in him as a manager. Give him a good team, dude. You give him a good team in 2022. What did they do? They won a lot of games. So
93 of them to be.
I mean, if they fired Ollie, I can't sit here and tell you it's unfair. Like, I can't, because he has had 2 seasons where teams have drastically underperformed if this season continues down this path. But John Mozeliak needs to be gone too then. Both. And that's just how it has to be. And also, I have a question for you, and this is interesting to me. I think we both agree that if this season continues down this path and they have to sell, Mo probably should be gone at the end of the year. He should step down or whatever it is. He won't get fired, but he should step down and go to a different role, I think. A year early after his extension. because his extension has 1 more year left. If you're the DeWitts, and let's say that's like put in motion, he's going to be gone after this year. You can't let him trade Goldie and Nolan.
No.
You can't let him be the one that's now envisioning your future with your sell-offs, can you?
No, that's a very good point that I hadn't thought about. Yeah, that's true. Yep, you have to have.
Because he
Yeah,
can't be
that's
under
why
control of it anymore.
the move almost needs to be made before the end of the season at that point,
It would
for the
have to be
trade
made
deadline.
by August 1st.
Yeah, that's
And it
what
would
I'm
have to be
saying.
made with enough time for the new guy, and this isn't going to happen, but for the new guy to have time to get into his role. I don't know though. Do you think Mo would step down if they're bad again? Or do you think he wants to leave like one good season out there and he knows that he's failing right now?
I don't know. I don't know the answer. Like I honestly don't. His hubris seems to be pretty large, so I would assume that
I
you
think
know.
and here's the thing that sucks. Like I think he's had a great career as a Cardinals GM, Pobo, whatever. Like he has. He's had a lot of success, a lot of false, but a lot of really, really great things he's done. He just there's a reason executives don't last as long as him. It
Mhm.
gets stale. You get the game has passed him by. And that's just like that happens. And it took a long time for it to happen, but it happened. And it's just time for someone new in St. Louis, I think. A new voice, a new face of the Cardinals.
It sure does feel like, again, for your another remember the Titans quote for y'all, like attitude reflect leadership. And I'm not saying the Ollie leadership. I'm saying player leadership because obviously that's the context of that quote in that movie. Um, it feels like the young guys, and I'm still going to call Newbar and Donovan younger because they're still in their mid-20s, right? So,
Yeah.
and Gorman, like those guys are young in my opinion, but it feels like they're looking to the veterans, and it just feels like Nolan and Goldie don't want that responsibility. It's like the Charles Barkley, I'm not a role model. Like they don't want to be those leaders. That's why they asked to have um, Matt Carpenter brought in and all the other guys brought in. By the way,
Yeah.
why is Brandon Crawford still on this team? Please explain that to me.
I don't know. I think we have bigger problems.
I'm just saying though, it does
Yeah, he
again,
shouldn't
it's
be.
roster construction. It makes no sense.
Yeah, he shouldn't be. I don't know. I don't know. Like everyone speaks really highly of Arenado and Goldie, not just on the team, but in baseball circles. They're very well respected. But I don't know. Like, here's the thing: they brought in Contreras. That's a different voice. It's a different passionate leader, and it didn't work. So I don't even know what the answer is. Like, it's not like they don't have multiple guys. They do. They have three guys you can point to that are perennial all stars. One's a World Series champion. The other two have been here a while, and they're all three different personalities, and it's just not working. So I don't know what the answer is.
What do you think goes through Lance Lynn and Sonny Gray's mind? And they're bulldogs, dude. They can't be that cannot be a happy clubhouse. It just cannot be like after games. It has to be miserable in there
I would guess. Yeah, I mean, I would guess so.
because could you imagine somebody in there laughing or something and Lance Lynn hearing that like that?
Yeah.
That could get up and that might be part of it too. Like maybe these young guys have that whole different. I don't know. I can't speculate. I'm not in there. I don't want to blame anybody. It just feels like everyone is to blame, and I don't know that I've ever seen this go on for this long. Like I don't know that I have, which tells me
I don't
there's a
get it.
massive disconnect somewhere, which goes back to your fire Turner Ward because, like you said, it might not be his fault, but he's not part of the solution. So
No, he needs to be gone today. Like last episode, I was a little wishy-washy on it. Dude, it's been 3 more games of this. Get him out of here. Why is he here still? I don't understand what serious organization would build an offense that they believe in and see it be this bad for 6 weeks and keep the hitting coach. Who? What
yeah,
team? Yankees? No. They fired him last year.
yep.
Like who? The Dodgers? No. He'd be gone. But this wouldn't happen to the Dodgers because they have 8 of them. So they wouldn't even have to fire anyone. Like it's
Can we just get
I
one of
don't
theirs? Can we hire one of theirs?
who was the hitting coach supposed to be last year? Who the Cardinals want the hitting coach to
It
be?
was supposed to be Matt Holiday.
No, that was a bench coach.
Oh no,
They wanted it to be Jeff Albert.
Jeff Albert. Correct. Yeah,
And they
yeah,
wanted Turner Ward to be the assistant again. So they didn't want Turner Ward to be their hitting coach. They wanted Jeff Albert to be them. So why have we stuck with him for 2 years? Who was supposed to be the pitching coach last year? Mike Maddox. He left.
yep.
They didn't want him to leave, but he left. And now we still have Dusty Blake for another year. Like they have a plan B coaching staff. Why? They do. Do they not?
There's so many ways you can take that comment that I just really started laughing quite a bit there.
Do they not though? They have a coaching staff that they didn't even want and they've kept it for 2 years.
Yeah, it's bad. It's bad. I don't know what to say. I honestly I'm out of
Is it
things to
over?
even I told you I'll give you that after Memorial Day.
It feels like today's the day you need to make a choice.
But I can't because
That
the
would
thing
mean
is,
for you. If
here's the
okay,
thing.
so hold on. If you're saying it's not, if you're saying you're waiting until June, then your answer would be no, it's not.
Correct. That is correct. And the reason is I just don't believe this can go on any longer. That's why
You
I
can't say that
I
every
know.
week.
You're right. And that's why I'm so perplexed right now. Also, then I look at it and there were 3.5 games out of the wild card. Like that's the thing. But I
I
don't
don't
if
even
it
care.
I know. I don't I mean they could
There's
easily, by
seven
the way,
games
they
under
could
500.
your best pitcher just threw last night and got knocked around by the Brewers. They could very
Destroyed.
easily get swept. They could very easily get swept this 4-game series by the Brewers,
If they,
which
okay, here's
without
a
even
question.
a problem like that, was that a surprise?
No, it won't surprise me. If they get swept this series, is someone fired the next day?
I sure would hope so.
But would someone be? Do you think they would do it?
I do. Yes, I actually do think that they would fire Turner
I
Ward. I
don't.
don't think they're
I think they're
okay.
spineless. That's what I think.
They have proven that in the past.
I don't think they have any pulse on the fan base. I don't think they have any pulse on the team. I think they're just not good at what they do anymore.
When is Matt Carpenter back up on this team?
Hopefully this weekend he'd be starting every day, batting third for me. By the way,
Might as well be.
he would be. I'm not even kidding. Batting third.
Well, you can only lead him off, so he needs to be leading off.
Do it. Honestly, let's see if we can bring that energy back.
I
Do it.
can he
I'm 100% in on that.
Can he bring some salsa with him?
I'm going 3 lefties off the bat. Carpenter, Donnie, Newt. Let him go.
Okay, fine.
Arenado's
Do
batting
it.
ninth. And I swear to you, people watching this, if I see one more comment about his fucking batting average, I'm going to jump off a bridge. I don't care that he's batting 275. Oh,
It does
what's he
seem like
here
people are so
for?
disconnected when they make that comment. Like
What's
you're
he here
literally not
for?
watching games if you're saying that.
He's not supposed to be a watered down Luis Ariz.
Right. Well, he's not. Hold on. There was no reason to
I said
disrespect Luis
watered
Ariz like
down.
that. Well, that's way watered down,
I'm
bro.
talking about contact hitters. He's the one that came to my mind. That's not what he's supposed to be here for. Like, what is Arnott? Oh, let me look this up. I gotta see what he's batting right now.
Contact hitters should hit better than 275, by the way. So
No, yeah, I mean, I would assume so. Yes, not ours, not
yeah.
our contact hitters, but most, yeah.
While we're going and while you're looking that up, shout out to all the moms out there. Mother's Day coming up on Sunday.
Oh, what's
So
going on?
shout out to you all. You guys are what honestly keep everything going here. Shout out to my wife, who is your mom. Shout out to my mom, who is back up north. And shout out to all the moms out there.
He's batting 286 with a 348 on base percentage, and he's slugging under 400. Do not talk to me about his batting average. He's batting 280 and can't slug above 400. Stop it. I'm so over. I'm so over it.
To before we get out of here, also, by the way, we did get the Geo impingement. We haven't talked about that. We predicted that on Sunday that it would be an impingement.
It was the most obvious thing ever.
100% knew how it was going to be labeled. It's always labeled.
I would have bet my life that he was injured. I would have bet my life.
Yeah, and that it was going to be called an impingement. Correct. 100%. Always is. So to finally answer your question, I'm not giving up, but man, it sure does feel like everybody is like the fat lady is
the vibes
really
are just
so
the vibes are so bad. And not just on the team, it's around the entire city of St. Louis.
Yeah.
I have never found a place to park quicker on a game going to a Busch Stadium game. I have never gotten out of there quicker. There was not even traffic after a Cardinal game, a night Cardinal game on a beautiful day. It was like 70 degrees, 75 degrees. I have never seen that in my life. I guess the Mets, by the way.
Yeah.
Like that told me everything I needed to know. It was dead. And it's honestly, the St. Louis needs the Cardinals to be good. They're very important to just the economics of the city if we want to get into that.
Correct.
They need it. And it's not happening. It's sad.
Do you think you can build around players like Donovan, Newbar, and Gorman? Like, do you think those are guys you can build? Because here's the thing, when we talk, it's everybody. So those three are also culpable right now, heavily in what's going on.
Gorman's like 0 for May.
Right. So where exactly if it's everybody, then you almost have to clear almost everybody. And I know you obviously you can't clear. I understand that, but I'm just saying.
St. Louis can't handle a rebuild.
Sorry about that. We had a little technical difficulty there. It's gonna be interesting to see if I don't know if they can handle a rebuild. Obviously, I know Like I said, the Astros and the Braves did it, but you're right, it's tough. They also have to get more. They're going to have to be more aggressive in the international market. I think that's something that they're going to have to really put some more efforts and some more money into. You're not just going to fix it through the draft. There has to be more logical thoughts, but they're also going to have to really work on their drafting and developing department. Not that they're bad. I'm not saying that. That it just has to get better. You have to be able to
Yeah.
continually churn out big league arms to if you want to continue to compete at this league, because you can't just keep signing 5 free agent older starting pitchers and hope to compete. That doesn't work.
Yeah, and let's be honest, guys like Jordan Walker, Nolan Gorman, Brendan Donovan, Lars Newbar, they got to be better. All of them.
Agreed. I
Like
agree.
at some point, like I get they're young. I get it. It's not fair to always ask people to be better. But like you're Major League Baseball players, you've been around long enough, be better. Step up. Any of you. Any of you step up, please. One of
Yeah,
you.
I agree. I agree.
Who's gonna do it? Who's gonna be the next star of the Cardinals? One of the Cardinals haven't produced a superstar since Albert Pujols.
Correct.
I mean, Yadier Molina is a Hall of Famer, but no one would ever have called him a superstar, right?
No.
I mean, you could argue, but Yadi and Albert, the last two, we can just say.
Yeah, but Yadi was an offensive superstar. I would say that. Like he was
Yeah, but he's still
obviously
like he's a Hall of
yeah,
Famer, so like you
correct.
had to give him credit for it.
The only guy that they produced, I think, that's had like 3 or 4 really solid years is Matt Carpenter. Like that's it. Since Albert, that's it.
Matt Holliday is the last outfielder they've had in an All-Star game.
Yeah, and they didn't. Obviously, he's not a Cardinal. They did not even draft him. So
The last Cardinal outfielder they had in an All-Star game, guess who it is?
yeah,
I think I know who it is. Guess, like the homegrown Cardinal outfielder.
last Ray Lankford.
Way sooner than that, like way closer than now.
I have no idea then.
Alan Craig.
Oh, okay. All right, there we go.
Yeah.
There we go.
All right, there's my fun stat today.
It's going to be interesting, especially when you see, and shout out to our guy from LSU, Paul Skeens gets the nod. I think he's on the bump tonight. If those guys stay healthy with Skeens and Jones and Keller, I'm not saying Pittsburgh's going to be like winning this year, but their future is very bright with those 3 young guys. And what it's going to allow them to do is go out when you're paying young pitching that is good. It allows you to go out. I'm not saying their owner's going to do it. Right. He has not shown that, but maybe there was a change in the guard there.
He'll re-sign Rowdy Tellez.
That's very cool.
I literally told you they were signing Rowdy Tellez. They just signed old first baseman. Yeah, that's what they do. And they'll kill the Cardinals, obviously. But
yeah,
I don't know. This just sucks. There's really nothing to point at right now. Like bring Jordan Walker back up, please.
Yeah, I agree.
Like give him some time at least to try and figure out major league pitching. His problem is not going to be hitting AAA pitching. So what's he working on down there?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Development. Prieto also, to be fair, deserves to be called up.
Yeah, I agree 100%, dude. Send Nolan Gorman down for a few weeks.
Yeah.
He's not even getting hits. Period. No. I love Nolan Gorman. He's one of my favorite players. But my God, snap out of it, dude. You can't slump for 2 months. Snap out of it.
I mean, it's possible that he just becomes a quadruple A player. Like that's scary, but it is. I mean,
he had 27 homers last year.
I know. I hope not. He's 23. I'm not going to put that on him. I'm saying that is always a possibility.
Yeah, it is. I mean, he has too many holes in his swing. Figure it out. What are you doing in the offseason? You not addressing any of them?
Well, we know. Hold on. We know his work ethic, but we know that he was addressing.
Okay, when's it going to show on the field?
That's the hard part of baseball, man. That's why it's so tough to make it and to stay. That's why it's so tough.
It's hard, but still their job to do it.
No one's arguing that. I don't think.
I'm just saying, it does kind of annoy me though. People like hitting's hard. Hitting's not hard for the good teams,
right?
Like hitting's hard for everybody. You're a Major League Baseball player. Hit.
Yeah. Well, that kind of just sums up what we have to have happen over the next 3 days, and then for the next 6 months, 5 months, if we want.
If they were to win the next 3 games, are you believing in this team now?
I told you I'm making my assessment after Memorial Day.
I'm just saying how you would feel watching them. Dude, that's such BS. There's no way you believe in this team. There's no way. There's nothing to believe in.
Right now, I do not.
This team is Santa Claus.
Whoa.
Sorry, if you're young, sorry.
Yeah, that did not need to be on there.
Oh, that was not the worst thing said on here today. Do not.
All right. Well, I got nothing else. I mean, hopefully they win. I don't have anything else. Do you have anything else before we get out of here?
Nope. I don't. Okay. I don't even know if I hope they win.
Once again, happy Mother's Day to all the mothers out there. Also, with that being said, go watch the NHL, go watch the NBA. It's way more exciting than anything the Cardinals are putting on there.
I got one thing.
What did you just spit back into your cup?
It
Did
was
you
ice
just take
cubes.
a
It was an
drink
ice. It was an
and
ice
spit
cube.
right back into the?
It was an
That was
ice
the most
cube.
disgusting thing I've ever seen.
It was an. I forgot I was on camera, to be honest. It was an ice cube.
You forgot. You forgot you were on.
Well, I was looking away. Either
I
way,
hope
let
that
me.
does not happen when you get your job on camera. That does not happen.
Uh, okay, let me say one thing. All right. If some don't let people tell you that you shouldn't go to Cardinal games because of the DeWitts, because
Oh,
you
I
should be
agree.
boycotting. Don't listen to those people. Those people are dumb. Like there's some people in the media that do that, and they're like, "Don't go to the games." And like, who you tell fans how to act? Like, go to the
Yes,
games
I
if you
agree.
enjoy the games. I
Yes.
don't recommend it because it's not fun. But if you want to go ahead. But don't let people bully you out of going. That's all I'm gonna say.
All right. Do what you want to do.
Mhm.
Don't do what others tell you to do. All right.
Spend
All
your
right. Well,
money the
have
way you want
once
to spend
again,
it.
bingo. Have a fantastic weekend. Hopefully the Cardinals. When we come back and talk to you again, we are on a roll. That's what I'm hoping. All right. Till next time, we'll talk to you soon. Go Cards.